Hey, Gina here with Tarot and Time, here to give you a week ahead tarot and astrology reading for November 8th. So, how was that Scorpio new moon for you? What a time of intensity. We have a lot of planets in Scorpio. We actually have a stellium, which is when 3 or more planets are in the same sign. So, we currently have the Sun, Mercury, the planet of communication, and Mars, the planet of action, all working together in Scorpio. So Mars does really well there, very efficient, gets things done, information just comes to you. The Sun showing up bright in the sign of Scorpio, and then Mercury. So this intuitive energy of Scorpio is coming through our communication. Information's coming in through our feelings. So I was searching last night for some words to describe Scorpio, and I pulled out this book, Astrology, A Cosmic Science by Isabel Hickey. And under Scorpio, she talks about it being unhealthy and stagnant marsh waters that need to be brought to the surface and cleanse. And the term I create is associated with Scorpio. I kind of like that idea, that these unhealthy, these stagnant waters coming up to the surface to be cleaned. So that's kind of what I was feeling through that Scorpio new moon. Emotions were coming up, kind of washing over you, things that needed to be released, things that were ready to be released. And so we're deep into that kind of thing right now with Scorpio so active. Scorpio is symbolized by 3 symbols. We have the scorpion, which is the one we usually think of, which is considered its low side. Then the eagle, which is the higher side of Scorpio. And then also the phoenix bird. Listen to this sentence. I love this sentence. The phoenix bird that dies in the ashes of its crucified self and is reborn anew. Oh, I'm so ready to be born anew. How about you? So letting this old stuff, all these fears, all these feelings that aren't working for us, let them bubble up to the surface. Let them show themselves to us, because sometimes we have them so buried we don't even know what they are. Ask for them to rise up, be seen, and be reborn through the letting these go. I really love that. It sounds painful, but it sounds so much lighter to move on. So the term I create is associated with Scorpio. And I had kind of forgotten that I create is Scorpio. Each sign has a term. Aries, I am. Taurus, I have. And it goes all around. And so thinking of Scorpio as I create, and then all these deep emotions bubbling up. So what better thing to do than to take all that old fears, all that old stuff that doesn't work anymore, and create something beautiful out of it. So that's our theme right now. The other thing I noticed when I was looking at the chart for the week, I noticed how the moon is going to just move along every day this week and be conjunct a very powerful planet. So we start the week off on the 8th. The moon's in the sign Capricorn. So I'm often talking about Capricorn being a great time to maybe work a little late, or maybe get some things done that you've been wanting to get done, or maybe to start planning some things. But Capricorn is all about value. In this chart, Capricorn is the term I use, right? So what resources do you have? Make use of things, get some things accomplished. So at the start off the week with the moon in Capricorn, but it's conjunct, working together with, so it's moving along, and here it comes along and it meets up with Venus, and it starts to work together with Venus. So maybe really getting some things done that we love, or maybe taking some action with those that we love. Maybe a good example of that would be like going to a friend's, somebody you love's house, helping them fix something. That would be very Capricorn Venus conjunct. Okay, so then by Tuesday, the moon's going to move, and it's going to come in contact with Pluto, which rules Scorpio, the planet of transformation. So the moon is this very feminine planet, we call it in astrology. And so it wants to nurture, it wants to care, it wants to soften you. It wants you to trust your intuition, because it's feeding you information, but in a non-verbal kind of way. Non-logical kind of way, a feeling kind of way. So the moon's going to work with Pluto to help transform what's going on, but kind of I was feeling it as bring in the softness, the gentleness, bring in the massages, bring in the gentleness to yourself. Okay, by Wednesday, the moon will be working together with Saturn, the rules, the structure, the framework. And then by Thursday, it works with Jupiter, wants to expand the luck and blessings. And then by the weekend, the moon will be working to conjunct together with Neptune. So two very watery planets. The sun's already in a watery sign. We've got a lot of water all over the place. And the thing about water is if it's not contained, it can get messy. So let's give some structure, some form to these time of all this intense emotion coming up. If you're in therapy, it's a great time for it. It gives you that structure to work within. So very creative, right? Scorpio, I create. And then by the weekend with the moon conjunct with Neptune, Neptune's super creative. So, okay. Now, there's so many things we could talk about. The sun's going to be opposite Uranus beginning this week, and I believe it's going to stay there till the end of the week. So that's the sun's already in that stellium, right? 3 or more planets in the same sign in Scorpio. And then you've got Uranus, this unpredictable lightning bolt of change and insight. They're in opposition. They're across from each other. So I'll imagine Uranus working at its highest and best for you to bring in all these possibilities that could happen, right? Because there's all this Scorpio energy across from this very powerful planet Uranus. So this can bring in big changes and see it for its highest and best to create the life you want. Letting go of the fears that we're so tired of them, aren't we? And I don't want to be so silly as to say that the fears are always going to go away for good, but let's just keep opening the door and escorting them out, kind of like saging your house, opening the door, everything that doesn't need to be here of the highest and best needs to leave. And so this is a continual work, but this is an opportunity right now to really free yourself up. And then as the sun's going to move into Sagittarius next month, there's more freedom to get up and go, less baggage to take with us. So we're heading towards, we came out of the new moon, new Scorpio moon, that transformational, it's death and rebirth, new moon, and now we're heading towards the Taurus full moon, which will happen later next week. So Scorpio is all about, creating, but it rules other people's money, where Taurus is, they're across from each other in the zodiac. Taurus is what you have, I have, your money. So the full moon is always in the sign across from the sun. So whenever the sun is in Scorpio, we'll always have that Taurus full moon. Taurus is a Venus sign, so as we start to move towards that, maybe I'm always talking about buying yourself something beautiful, especially jewelry. I do own a store, but it's a great time for jewelry. It's a great time for self-love as we move towards that full moon. So let's keep doing the cleanup work now, clean it up, and then maybe there's a little reward later for all the great work that we did. Okay, so let's jump into these piles. Pile 1, I chose this beautiful card called Abundance. Pile 2, Confidence. Pile 3, Evolve. So pick your pile, let's get started. Pile number 1, Abundance. Beautiful. Okay, let's see. So we're clearing out, making room for new, wonderful times, cleaning up some of the fears that are hidden in the shadows. And we don't want when we put our focus on the fears, then they repopulate in a way, right? So abundance, let's use the abundance properly. Let's use our thoughts properly in the direction that we want. Because when we put our attention on what we don't want, we're creating more of it. So let's use the power of abundance properly, envisioning what we want, speaking less about what we don't want. And there's still a time and a place to speak of it. I love to write it down. I love to burn it. But let's not focus our energy on it, because it's so easy to get caught in the, oh, I'm so tired of this. I know I get caught in cycles of that, but I'm creating more of it because I'm putting my attention on it. So let's put our attention on the things we want, the positive. We're starting off with the Eight of Pentacles, and we're starting off the week with the moon in Capricorn. So we're going to start off in Capricorn. By midweek, the moon will be in Aquarius. So who the heck knows what will happen, especially with that opposition with Uranus, because Uranus rules Aquarius. So there's a lot of things that you're just not going to have control over. Aquarius does rule large groups of people and humanitarian efforts. So maybe you start switching your attention over a little bit, switching your attention from like the pile of work to the pile of herbs and crystals and all of that kind of work. So maybe sometime this week, maybe midweek when the moon's at Aquarius, you start going into the little things, little quirky things that bring you joy, right? Aquarius is known for its quirkiness. Okay, and then by the weekend, the moon will be in Pisces. So by the time you wake up on Saturday morning, the moon will be in Pisces. So it's very romantic, very creative, very emotional, very watery. There's lots of water. So the sun will be in a water sign. The moon will be in a water sign. We have all these other planets in a water sign. So Pisces likes to rest and retreat. That might be the best thing for you. Take some baths, take some downtime, maybe even watch a great movie. And if you feel that you're too emotionally sensitive, you may want to maybe spend some alone time. Maybe don't get as involved with other people if emotions are running too high for you, because sometimes it's hard to contain it, and sometimes it's hard not to pick up other people's stuff too. Now we've got the star card here, which is Aquarius, ruled by Uranus. And so she's pouring out from one cup, it's said to be like the cup of the mind to the cup of the heart, trying to find that balance. It also comes in after the Tower, after things have been removed. So what has been removed from you through this new Scorpio moon, you've almost been cleansed. She's usually seen wearing white. There's like this purge. Okay, let's see what else we've got going on. We've got the Eight of Wands. So this is our second eight. We had the Eight of Pentacles. Now we have the Eight of Wands. 16, 17. Actually, the star is Major Arcana 17. 1 and 7 is 8. So actually everything we've gotten so far is an 8. So 8's that infinity loop, right? And kind of coming like, if we're thinking about fear all the time, then we're caught in the loop, right? We're talking about the abundance and getting into an abundant loop, trying to rant yourself, get onto an abundance rant. I love Abraham Hicks. They have some great YouTube videos of just these rants that you can listen to really psych yourself up and get positive. And sometimes that's just what we need. Sometimes I just find I just need to take a shower and just have the water run over me and help wash some things away. So just kind of letting it wash away and getting into this loop of positivity. And it's a choice. And sometimes you might not align to it in the beginning. You might feel like, oh boy, but then it starts coming on and it helps shift you so you're vibrating higher, letting go of the stuff that's not working. You've got the Lovers card here at the bottom. I love this version from the Light Seers deck. So really, I mean, it's love, yes, okay, but it's a Gemini card. It's about choices. Geminis, I have a Gemini moon. I'm a mile a minute, right? I think that's where it's coming from. So that loop, right? And then there's this like quick moving information. Gemini's ruled by Mercury, so information's coming in. Sometimes we jump into decisions that aren't the best for us, but at the moment it was so exciting, like love, like things like this. So let's slow it down. Let's see. Let's slow down, take some breaths before jumping in. Got the Six of Swords in the background, more air coming in next to the star. Got the Ace of Pentacles, whole grains. This is coming up in the background. Let's see where we're moving towards. The Queen of Cups. And it's interesting because this card's going to be placed here next to the star, so they're both pouring things out. They're pouring out emotions that don't work anymore. So the Queen of Cups would be such a Pisces queen, Scorpio queen, and by this weekend, boy, like look at the water's coming up, she's pouring it out and just getting higher and higher. So just be careful this weekend. Like I said, maybe it might be a good time, unless you can really use the emotion properly to express your love, to express your passion, to express your desire to be in whatever relationships you're in. If you're not in that mode of like being romantic and being open and emotional, stay home. Don't go, because it might just be overwhelming. Here's the Ten of Cups. In this deck, it's the marijuana card. This is the Michael Tierra Herbal Tarot. I love this deck. And so, and marijuana is so Pisces, and Ten of Cups, it all looks so beautiful at the time. Lots of joy. This is often called the happy family card. But with Neptune, there's points this week where, like I said, by the weekend that the moon and Neptune are going to be together, and then we're in all this water. So yeah, it might feel wonderful. You might fall in love. This might be like a super romantic weekend for you. You might be out on an adventure with someone you love. But just remember that enjoy it, savor it. It will be memorable, but it may not be exactly the reality of everyday life. So just keep that in mind, and that's okay. It has its time and its place. Okay, so I'm going to pull a few more cards here. I feel like you need a few more things. Your top card was abundance, and so I see a lot of work, a lot of play, a lot of releasing, a lot of emotion. And if you can't find the get up and go, the openness to delve deep into relationships, love, all that kind of stuff, then take some nice, quiet self-love time and just kick back and enjoy. Okay, let's see. I'm going to pull a few more. This one wants to come out. Gratitude. Well, gratitude is always the solution to everything, right? Just getting that gratitude list out. Okay, what is it? There's always something to be grateful for. We have give into passion, Everyday Witch Oracle. And I want to pull a few more cards here. So yeah, I mean, it's a really great opportunity for some super creative time by the weekend. Like super creative and kind of just sitting in it all. Three of Wands, and I'm going to pull one more. The Emperor. Okay, so the Three of Wands, he's kind of like sitting at his desk still, even though you'd think he'd be out and about and going. So what I'm seeing here is like use the first part of the week to get some work done, and don't be a slave to it like you so can do. Leave it behind. Make sure this weekend that you're actually going to have some fun, either in that passionate relationship or taking care of yourself and just having an amazing, beautiful, great time. Books, music, movies, anything that brings you joy. Get outside, get some fresh air. Go take a walk by some water. It'd be great for you. And you know, I pulled these leaves to put the cards on, and out on one of my walks I was realizing, you know, this is the season of death. The leaves are falling to the ground, they're composting right in front of us, and that's the natural process. So this is the season of death and rebirth. So seeing it as a natural process, seeing what fears are bubbling up, continuing to allow them to dismiss them and enjoy this very intuitive, very powerful, very watery week. And I hope that something beautiful comes out of it. Don't forget your letters. All right, let's see what we got here. Couple here. I'm going to do some dice. And what else? We'll take out a couple charms because we have a few more letters in here. 4 of spades, number 2, royalty, the number 5, the number I-27 stuck in this ring. We've got G51, the letter D, which we're going to move over here, the letter Z, we're going to move over here. Got a wine bottle opener, measuring tape, and I think that's it. Okay, let's see what we can spell here. The word goes, G-O-E-S, and I've got, do I have the word butter? It looks like I could. Do I have an R? No. Darn it. Okay. What else do I have? I have the word feet, goes and feet. I have the word putt, like golfing. And anything else here? Oh, the word belt. And we could actually make the word belted. Is that a word? Belted? Yeah. Okay. And the word, all right, well, I don't know what else. Do I have anything else? I'm gonna take putt out of here and make the word cute. All right, so the rest is gonna be for you to look at. I'll take a picture. You can see what you can make out of this. Have a fabulous week. Pile number 2, this beautiful confidence card. So fall. All right, let's see what we've got for you this week ahead. We're starting off the week with the moon in Capricorn. The moon will be moving into the sign of Aquarius for midweek, so anything can happen. By the weekend, by the time you wake up on Saturday, the moon will have moved into Pisces. So I was talking about how, you know, Pisces is a water sign. The moon is going to be in that. That's definitely a time of retreating, resting. We already have so much water energy going on, and we know that water signs need a lot of rest. Now, Neptune can also be super romantic. It came up in pile 1. So let's see what the advice for you is for the week. Let's see what we got going on. Starting off with the 3 of Swords. Okay, such a human card. Old pains, old past love hurts coming up. Now, your first card was confidence. Be confident that you can get through this. Be confident that as this stuff comes up, because it's bubbling up right now, it's Scorpio season, right? All that stuff that's down deep, that dirty stuff that needs to come up and out, like the marsh water. Let's let it come up and rejuvenate, recirculate. And this stuff, I know you're ready to move past this stuff. It gets old after a while, doesn't it? Okay, and we think it's gonna take forever, and sometimes we just need to cry. And sometimes the crying lasts like 60 seconds, and then it slows down, right? So allow yourself that, please. This week, but always. Okay, I think I have 2 cards stuck here. This deck is very sticky. All right, first one that presented itself was the King of Coins, King of Pentacles, and your top card was confidence. So he's a very confident Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus king, whatever you want to call him. So there he is in your heart position of the reading. You know your value. You know you can pull back into being grounded. You know you've got this. So allow yourself to scream if you need to. And the second card that was underneath that was the moon. Look how gorgeous. How beautiful. So it's talking about how that was the first thing that jumped out at me as I looked at the chart for the week ahead. And I try to pay attention to what jumps out first. The moon moving along, this gentleness, the sweetness of the moon, right? I feel like it just wants to give us information. It wants to nurture us. It just feels like a gentle rub on the head. That's kind of how I was feeling it. It's there helping you through all these big planets that it's going to come into contact with this week, allowing this transformation, allowing this powerful, confident self that you are come up and to be seen. So moon really, it rules advertising, right? It moves emotions, helping you be seen. Now the Devil card's coming in on your foundation. It's a Capricorn card. He's ruled by Saturn. And look how he's got this person strings like a marionette there. And so letting the shame and the fear and all that stuff that's controlling us, letting it come up, surface. It's so much less powerful when it's exposed to light, when it's spoken about, when it's released. In the background, you have the Four of Pentacles. It's called Cascara bark. This is why I don't use this deck a lot. I don't know all the plants, but I do know that a 4 is a pause. It is pentacles, so it's earth energy. It's like out there on a picnic. There's a little potty back there if you need it. So like almost like out on a camping trip, or almost out like living more simplistically. Being placed next to the King of Coins, who he doesn't live too simplistically. So we'll see how that plays out. Let's see what else we've got going on. We've got the Ace of Wands. A 1, something new, something passionate. Looks like all this energy around, and you're ready to clear some old stuff out and make room for the new you that's rising up. The 3 of Cups coming up in your future position, Trillium, which I do believe is a pretty, like, isn't it a plant that comes up in the spring, and it's like kind of special to see it. It doesn't stay too long. So there's the 3 gathering together, enjoying, they're drinking from like the Ace of Cups, the cup of satisfaction, and there's like almost like this moment in time. Here's the King of Cups coming up, so you've had 2 kings. And so he knows how to, he's a king of emotion, right? He's usually seen on some kind of barrier between him and the water. He knows his limits and how much he can take. So you have to be careful when you're gathered together that you're with the right people, number 1, that you are resting and retreating, not just partying too hard. 3 of Cups can be a partying hard card. And you also led with the 3 of Swords, which is the old heartache card. So let's make sure that, number 1, if we're going to do stuff this week, the theme is transformation, and then with all the water, it's about nurturing, about resting, about retreating, taking care of us so we can have these emotions come up and out. We can have that transformation, right? So let's be careful about who you're around. Let's be careful. Let's take some time for yourself. If you need to be around others, make sure that there are people that you feel okay speaking about your feelings to, talking about, not just distracted with just partying, right? Because that could be easily can happen. So, and don't get wrapped up into their drama, because it's going to be a lot coming up. So choose wisely, protect yourself so that you don't take on everybody else's garbage, and so that you can have this transformation. Let me see, I want to have a few more cards for you. There's the 10 of Swords and the Ace of Swords, which is interesting because the 10 I think of as a 1, and then there's the 1. So over here is like this dramatic 10 of Swords. I think she's okay, but it's very dramatic, and that's what I was feeling about all these people. I think you might need some alone time. There's the Ace of Swords. Write some of the things that's going on. Get it up and out. Even if you can hang out with your friends next weekend. But if this would be a good time to kind of rest and retreat, especially by the weekend. So, and we're moving out of that new moon, right? That Scorpio new moon, and now we're moving towards a Taurus full moon. And Taurus is all about our self-love and our self-value, and it's the house of your money, where Scorpio, which is across from it, the full moon's always across from where the sun is. Scorpio is the house of other people's money. So there's something about value there, what you value, what other people value, and you're going to make sure that you're being in situations where you're putting your value first. Okay, I'm going to pull a couple more. So many different decks I'm working with. This is the Wizards. And we've got the Page of Pentacles and the 5 of Cups and a couple more. Judgment, which is a Scorpio card, and the Queen of Swords. Okay, so basically what I'm getting is if you can spend some time alone this weekend, you can do stuff midweek, like the moon will be in Aquarius, which rules friend groups, so maybe if you're gonna spend time with friends, do it more midweek. By the weekend, I'd rest and retreat. Get outside, get in nature, expect that you might have a good cry, and if you have it outside, that's okay too. Get it out, it'll be passing, see if you can write about it. It's gonna help you move forward later. You can do this. Do it now. The moon when the sun moves into Sagittarius, let's go have fun. Go into the holiday seasons. Let's not be weighed down with this old stuff that we've outgrown. Pulling some Scrabble pieces. And a couple charms. To do the Astro Dice for round one, but we'll do it. Okay, I've got the word read and the word pen. Do I have paper? Come on, do I really? P-A-R. I have paper, pen, read. I have the word cried. Wow, this message is pretty clear. I've got the word hot and the word axe. Okay, so, and the Queen of Swords came out too. She's quite into reading, writing. And okay, so it's pretty obvious here that you've got some time to spend processing feelings, writing it down, having a good cry, getting your pen and paper out, and the axe is like you're gonna cut right through it. And then we've got the word hot here at the bottom, and it's funny because I think of Scorpio as such a hot house. It's a water house, but it's like a hot and steamy one. So let's get this stuff out of the way so you can make room for the more hot and steamy stuff. Fun stuff. Have a great week. Oh, I'm going to do your Astro Dice too. Of course it's Scorpio. North Node, Scorpio second house. North Node, what you came to do here, your life's purpose. Scorpio, we know about, we've been talking nonstop about that. Second house, Taurus's house, that's where the full moon's heading. So remember, this is deep work you need to do, you came here to do, you came here to learn, to have this experience, and it's time. Have a good one. Pile number 3, this beautiful Evolve card, her butterfly, monarch butterfly wings. And what a better time to evolve than right now. Coming out of that new moon in Scorpio, heading towards the full moon in Taurus. That's all about our love and self-love and our things we value and our own money. All of those great themes. And so letting go of what no longer serves us. All right, let's see what you need to know this week ahead. Starting off with the 5 of Swords. Now we know 2021 is a 5-year, it's a year of change. And so your theme, evolve, ready for change in how you're thinking. He's very burdened by his thoughts, but over here he's free. And so you are ready to free yourself. All that old stuff that's ready to bubble up to the surface, to be cleansed, to be cleared. There's the Queen of Wands, raspberry leaf. And so I want to say raspberry leaf's high in iron. I feel like that's true. I know it's often used in a lot of women's drinks, tea drinks. So the Queen of Wands, she's a dynamic fire queen. She doesn't want to sit around and waste all of her time worrying, right? She wants to get up and go and live and see. We're heading towards Sagittarius season next, right? The sun will move into Sagittarius later in the month. And so let's free ourselves now. Let's use the strong Scorpio transformative energy now so we can move lighter. Here's the 5 of Pentacles, worrying that there's not enough or feeling burdened that we're always the pillar for others. Well, the Queen of Wands wants to help transform that too. Your foundation, you have the Seven of Pentacles, rhubarb, and sitting and waiting for the harvest. Okay, 7 being the spiritual path. All right, let's see how that plays out as we move forward. In the background, we have the 9 of Pentacles. So there's a lot of pentacles we've seen so far. There's plenty there. Now we've got the 7 of Pentacles again. This is called 7 of Coins in this deck. Look at it all growing around her. It's all happening. It's just not quite the season to pick it yet, right? So we're going into winter here. It's interesting, the 7 of Pentacles, and it gets placed here next to this 5 of Pentacles. The season's changing. It's easy for us to fall back into that depressive way of being when we have less sunlight. We'll be in snow here soon. But remembering the bigger picture, that spring is going to come again, that things are going to liven up again. And so let's not fall back into these old patterns of things that are outdated for us. Remember that, yes, things take a little bit of time, but we're moving in the right direction. You've got the 2 of Wands, which I love this card because his ships are coming in the background. So 2, coming up in your future position, in relationship, he has very magician-like vibes too. So knowing that things are going to start moving, starting to picture it. How do you want it to be, right? Scorpio is associated with the term I create. What are we creating? What are we moving for? What is it that we want? Start thinking about what you want. I sit there and play games like that. What is it that I want? Okay, let me think about that. From a dress I might want to buy up to how I want to live my life in 10 years. Start playing in that realm. It's okay to play. And here's the 6 of Pentacles, some more pentacles. So there's some kind of conversation going on. She's kind of giving orders there. So let's start putting things in order so we can start moving ahead. The winter's going to go by like this. I know it doesn't feel that way, but it's going to. So what do we want things to look like? Let's work on letting go. I say work, it's kind of like I'm deciding now that I am ready to let go of this. These fears are no longer serving me. I no longer want to be controlled by them. I'm going to live my life. I'm only here for so long. I can spend them worrying or I can go and live. Those are the kind of conversations that I'm talking about. And then not getting too down about needing immediate movement. These things take time, but you're moving in the right direction. You've got the 8 of Pentacles, kind of hard at work. We're starting off the week with the moon in Capricorn, so that's a very Capricorn card. And here's the Fool. We'll be in Aquarius by midweek. So there's some adventures waiting, and let's see what for the weekend for you. The Empress. So she's Taurus energy. She's there in her kingdom, and she's pregnant. So she's always giving birth to something of beauty, right? And we know Scorpio is I create. And so I'm seeing this weekend as a great time. It kind of came in across the board that unless you're ready to deal with the high emotions that are running right now, because they are, and I really honestly don't think that you are ready to deal with that. I think it can lead to fights and old nostalgic family patterns of heartache. I would say if there's any way for you to take some rest and relaxation this weekend, if it's choosing to sleep in, please schedule it on your calendar because it's just as important as all those other appointments. But this would be a good time to savor what you have, to be in some gratitude of just what's around you, your home, your beauty, your life, and really enjoy that. And so if you have to go out, be careful of, just be careful that it's very emotional. There's a lot of unpredictability with Uranus energy right now too. There's the 3 of Swords coming out again. It came out here. We had it twice in a row. So I would say downtime if you can. Whatever amount of it, that you can. Actually, by Sunday, the moon will move into Aries, so this would be ideal for Friday and Saturday. So maybe it's just Saturday. Maybe you just take some really nice, quiet, lovely, beautiful time for yourself on Saturday. Savor what you have, enjoy it. Make a conscious decision that you are going to let go of these thought patterns that just are not serving you. They're on old stuff that's outdated, and it's time. We're ready. Okay, so let's pull a few more cards. We have the word nature. So get out in it. Definitely get out in some nature. Fresh air. It's been so beautiful today. All right, let's see what words we've got with our Scrabble pieces. We'll do a couple charms. And the star just kind of shot out and landed over the 5 of Swords. So you've got this. You can clear this. You're going to do great. Got some hematite helping keep you grounded. Got the letter N and the letter X will move over here, and the letter I. We've got 2 Tree of Lives that came out, so remember that stay grounded, stay rooted. Got this is like a little postcard. And let's see what letters we have. Okay. I have the word window, which I'm really excited about, and the word think. I've also got the word flick.